wants to go first?
Well, I'm going to throw it out to maybe you guys because my favourite moments. I've not gone strictly.
Are they all from the Incredible Hulk?
Shit, he's right. He's rumbled me. No, fortunately, none of them are. But no, I picked my top 5 favourite moments that just surprised me the most. So the were the ones that I kind of felt, took me by surprise the most, and it kind of just helped towards the enjoyment of maybe said film.
Yeah.
Well, maybe bar one of them if David hears this.
Is it in Mandarin?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that until I read out my list. So, but I'll throw it out to you guys first.
Should we do one each and just move around?
Yeah. That's good.
Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
My first one on my list is...
Is this number 1 or number 5?
This is...
I've not done mine.
Yeah, I've not really put
okay.
Yeah,
it's just
I
5.
find it hard enough to pick 5, let alone put them in an order.
Yeah, that's fair.
My first one is the Winter Soldier escape from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Fucking awesome
Hydra.
scene.
I think that's, first off, the best bit of music in an MCU film.
That's good, actually.
Which bit?
The bit where, so he's in, like, S.H.I.E.L.D., and Robert Redford says something to him, and he like walks out the room.
Oh,
he gets
right,
the elevator.
The whole lift scene.
Just the lift scene.
No, but
it's the whole escape
where like he realizes what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and then he like escapes by jumping out the window, and that music, and the bit with the bit where he just lands like after he's taken out the Quinjet.
Oh, he throws a fucking motorcycle just
like
Quinjet.
Front brakes. Just so good.
Obviously, not breaking the laws of physics at all.
No, that's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mate, you have a helicopter like. Oh wait, no, that was in this one as well, wasn't it? So
no, that's
Winter Soldier.
The helicopter.
Where
he pulls the helicopter.
Yeah, so you're right.
That's a great bit.
Might be one of my favourite ones.
I forgot about that.
It's nice, good scene.
Just dead biceps.
Yeah, just bicep curling a helicopter. Why not? I think that's like that really sums up the Winter Soldier for me. And like I said, the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack of that film is
so good.
It's
really
the
good.
best Marvel soundtrack by him. I like Alan Silvestri's.
But I feel like that's because
that's a great
theme. Avengers theme.
But the soundtrack's to Avengers.
Yeah.
I think Endgame's got a really good soundtrack. The other ones are a bit forgettable.
Yeah.
But like, is it Henry Jackman?
Mm-hmm.
He did Civil War as well, but then like dropped all the themes from Winter Soldier. Which I was really confused.
The Winter Soldier theme's like so horrifying. It's just like, God, that's actually kind of unnerving me.
Guy, can you?
Fair.
Mixed messages.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a bit of like the Joker theme from.
Yeah, I was saying that yesterday. Actually, we watched it last week.
Which is apparently like Hans Zimmer did a 4-hour version of that.
Wow.
That Joker thing, and Nolan listened to it all like on a flight apparently. And I can't like he basically there was I don't know what the quote was, but there was something of him just going like, it was like a horrible 4 hours.
I needed severe therapy. That's about it I've got for that. But I think it's and I'm disappointed the soundtrack. That's the one thing that disappoints me about Winter Soldier is the soundtrack is not reused.
Yeah, it seems strange.
Like
but
the bit,
you can't.
And there's a moment which one of you might mention with a hammer. And the soundtrack to that point ruins the moment for me because it doesn't land. The music doesn't land. The musical cue I don't think is great.
Okay.
Compared to like the.
That would be in my top 5
Avengers Assemble
moments. Yeah.
I was watching it, I was like, this is great, but the music's just a little bit underwhelming. Like, if you'd done like the Winter Soldier bit.
I did rewatch that scene today. Actually, I know what you mean.
I reckon if they put like the bit where he's escaping from Hydra on that moment, that music on that, I reckon, where he's like fighting with Thanos would have been pretty good.
But there you go.
Fuck you, Kevin Feige.
Yeah. So it's not his fault. He doesn't pick that.
And we're joking. We praise you, Papa Feige.
Yeah. My first moment is the very, very first opening to the whole MCU. It's the opening to Iron Man 1, which I think
is a really good.
Incredible. It's so ballsy.
I always forget about that opening.
That like you open these big superhero film with Iron Man, not Tony Stark, just in a, Afghanistan or Iraq or somewhere like that, and then him getting taken by terrorists and blowing up all these US military stuff. Like, it's such a brave way to start that film.
And he's such a dick as well.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to make you like this guy by the end of it, but we're going to make it really hard.
But I just think it's such like a really, really cool start to a film to like just throw the audience right in there and go, oh God, like what is happening here? Like, who is this guy? Who are these people taking him? Why is he there anyway? For people that don't know anything about it, obviously don't know Tony Stark's like an arms dealer or anything.
I didn't know anything when I watched it.
Well, that's just, I was just thinking that then, like, is that actually Tony Stark's origin, like, comic-wise? Like, he gets kidnapped by terrorists, he has shrapnel in him, like, he has to have a is that kind
of... I don't know if it's become that, or if it has been used. it's something. I think
just because I didn't even think when I watched that film, I was like, yeah, that's a perfect way to like introduce him in, like makes sense, it follows along, and I was like, shit, is that actually how it works?
I think it has been used.
But, I mean, we do have access
I don't know
to
if that's before or after the film, to be perfectly honest with you. But
I think there's something with Afghanistan, like previous Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I think there's something around that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm making.
I think that's another reason, like less.
I guess the time it was released as well, like
perfect.
That's what I mean. Just dead like poignant and stuff, and even like the fact that it was making a political statement as well, like quite strongly about like American arms dealing and you know how the weapons end up in the wrong hands and all that sort of stuff, which I just think's really cool. But then just to do that and then flash back.
You think dealing in the Middle East is really cool? Doing that?
Yeah, just cut that out.
It's not what I said. The FBI.
I meant that the fact that Iron Man deals with the issues is dead cool. But yeah, and then just like flashback, and you know suddenly you've got this fun like party kind of guy. You know, he's off playing in the casino.
Number one party boy.
Yeah, number one party boy. I just think I love it.
Good.
That's a good choice.
We're
going round robin.
Yeah,
all right, okay. Yeah, no. Well, just to preface mine, then I am gonna go in an order, and it's going to be a reverse order.
Do you want to do all yours?
Do you want to do all yours together then?
Yeah.
So we just bounce
well, that's what I thought you were doing.
Okay.
I thought you were just going to bounce.
All right, we'll bounce back.
So second point is, Guffers would hate this, but there's a bit in Spider-Man Homecoming where he has fucked everything up, and that ferry's like splitting in half.
Oh yeah.
And that's a great moment where he's like trying to hold it back together. But the bit that I really like is when Tony Stark comes, saves him, and takes the suit off him, and Peter's like, I'm nothing without the suit, and Tony Stark says, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. And I just think that's like such a great line of like, I picked you, like I gave you the suit because of who you are, not
not
what you can do,
not kind of what your abilities are. I picked you because of who you are as a person.
Yeah,
I think that's a really great point.
It is cool, that one.
And it's kind of like well, his whole thing's like, I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
Which might be another one of my points later on.
Really?
I feel like it does sum up though and to that, that's why I get Guff's like angst to the whole like Iron Man heavily being used in it and stuff like that, but that is kind of like Spider-Man's whole thing is that he is, I don't know, he doesn't need the suit and the tech and stuff like that. So if anything, it's kind of underpinning the whole. You don't need all this fancy stuff to be Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like
to do something good.
Yeah, you are inherently good. Yeah. So that's kind of hitting that home for him. So I felt that kind of did sum up Spider-Man's character really well.
Yeah,
really.
This is one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, Marvel get it. Like they just get it. Like what they understand the characters and they understand why they're making the films and they understand like what it's about. And it's the complete opposite of what DC did with Zack Snyder.
When Guff's gonna listen to this, he's gonna
gonna
record his own podcast on his own, just being like, "Why real film are wrong." Season 1,
not real film podcast.
yeah.
But I really like that. I remember watching that in the trailer actually, and just being like, everything I was worried about with this film is now like completely gone because they've said that line. Yeah, I think it's great.
Good stuff. My next one, I'm trying to think what the best order. No, don't really need to be particular.
Just whack them out.
Don't look at my list.
I was seeing that we could.
No, don't look at it. I'll go for my Winter Soldier one actually. So it's not the same as yours. Just completely 100% for like the choreography, because it's the best like fight choreography in the whole MCU. Or like every single film is the bit after they've fallen off the bridge and him and Bucky are fighting hand to hand with the knife and the shield.
So good.
It's just cool. So like the choreography is just incredible and like it's so tense.
And
like,
the music's
on point at that bit because it knows exactly when to use silence, exactly when to like have a beat. Like, and it's just so like visceral as well. Like it feels genuinely like one of them could like die.
Yeah, it does, that is both of them doing it as well, isn't it?
It is.
That's what.
I
remember when I heard that, I was like, "Fuck, that's
it's good."
Mad.
Yeah. It's like a bit like.
I remember it's the first film where I felt like the first Marvel film where I felt like, okay, this is actually someone could die here, and something big's going to happen. Like it actually felt like there were real stakes. Whereas like Avengers is kind of. I like Avengers, but it just like now it just feels a bit like CGI mashy at the end. It's all these people are invincible. It doesn't really. They're all video game characters, really.
Yeah.
And you can tell when it's not real.
Exactly. Yeah. And that the bit where like the knife goes into the van that the behind it like scrapes down it. It's just
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's horrible, but it's just wicked. Even like the fact that ends with that reveal as well, that he's just like Bucky, and he's like, who's Bucky?
The thing I like about is the way his mask weirdly comes off.
He
Grabs
grabs him
by the chin, like flips it over,
yeah.
so it kind of just pulls it off.
Yeah. It looks a bit weird, I think.
I just think, and you even get him holding the shield, like
at one point,
like Winter Soldier holding the shield at that point, and even like the Falcon and Black Widow bits in that fight are like dead good. Like
a bit of the
bit with the phone where she puts the phone on the floor and like he blows it up and then she jumps on his back, and I think it's the best. Like
she gets shot and stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah, that's proper visceral. Like the bullet sounds.
So that's what I mean. It feels like there's more threat in him than there is in most other Marvel villains. Yeah. Apart from like Thanos, but even when you're kind of watching Thanos, you kind of like, because you know he's CGI, and like he's hitting someone. I mean, there's a few moments in Infinity War where he hits Cap and I think Black Panther where it feels quite visceral. But still, most of the time when someone gets hit by something that's not real, it doesn't feel real. Whereas when you kind of see her get shot, you're kind of like, oh shit, she's been shot. I don't know why, but that feels more scary than like a big load of aliens flying. I don't know why, it just feels more, because you can see it, because you know it's real, I suppose. But
definitely,
It did take Scarlett Johansson a while to recover after that bullet wound. It was a long process, but
my next one was similar, actually. This is good timing. The fight scene at the end of Civil War between
the three of them.
You're doubling up on one of my moments. To think of another one.
No, we'll just
it is a good moment. It deserves its.
The choreography again. The choreography of some of that, like the cinematography, the bit where,
passing the shield to each other.
Passing the shield. So it was like, I think it was like there's a clip released really earlier from that of just
I wish they
throwing
hadn't
a shield.
done
And then there's that bit where Iron Man's like doing his laser thing, and Cap's like running forward through it. Shield, and like the music of that bit actually is really good. But I like the emotional beats of it as well. Where
well, I was literally gonna, like, my moment was more small than that. Was just like,
is it the bit where he's gonna hit him? Oh no,
it's just like
he's my friend.
Right. So was I.
So was I. Yeah, so was I.
And
but also
there's the bit where as well where Cap's beating the shit out of him when he's on the floor, and he like has the shield and he's like got to smash it down on him, and you can see in like Tony's face that he thinks he's gonna take my head off.
This is it. I'm gonna die.
And he just puts it in his that bit of acting by Robert Downey Jr. does it in his face. That terror. Again, like it just feels like there's real stakes to it.
Yeah, because it's personal.
Because the way it's like choreographed.
Because again, that twist of like you just like you're almost kind of, it's leading to a point where you're potentially going to be disappointed because you just go, it's just going to be them fighting a load of like super soldiers. Do you know what I mean? And then you get there and they're all dead, and you're like, what's
actually going on here?
What the hell's happening? And then you're like, well, Zemo can't like
fight them,
sort of thing.
It might be in the future.
But then it's just really, really clever. And then obviously you get the I can do this all day moment, which I just think
that's a great line.
It's just so good. Like
that nearly made it in.
I like that kind of motif of Cap. Like, just think it's dead. Yeah, it's really like a nice thing that just sums him up completely. Like, even though he's been through much and he's changed, that's always his underlying thing that he's always just gonna. Because he doesn't actually say it in Endgame, does he? But he kind of
says it to himself.
Yeah.
Does he actually?
Yeah,
when
the fight is
like, all day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know."
Oh right, no, yeah. That bit. I mean, like when Thanos is like,
I feel like they can't have then done it after.
But he straps his shield and he stands up again.
Yeah,
and you just like,
it's kind of implied there. Like,
it's still that sentiment.
I think if he said it would have.
If he's like, I can do this all day, and Thanos is like, what?
What? You're miles away. I can't hear you.
I said I can do this all day.
What's that joke? Is that on? It's on Shazam. Is it Shazam?
I've not seen Shazam.
Oh, when the child, he's like, what are you saying? Like,
that's quite fun. Actually, I had a good time with Shazam. Actually,
I did. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we're talking about Shazam.
Off topic.
I'd agree. Well, I do agree. It was still one of my points.
Yeah,
I'm like trying to race through the films in my head to try and think of moments now, because I don't want them all.
There's so many that I'm thinking about.
I don't want
that one could have made it onto my list. The whole bit, the Zemo reveal bit in Civil War, where it's like, what happened at that mission report thing. Like, I didn't actually think of that one when I was doing this. But
because I don't want them all to just be from like Endgame and Infinity War and stuff. But like, I also don't want to give some of my spots away to just like little moments. That I'm like, I really like that moment, but it's not like.
But then there's this one. And
I had a load of little ones where I was like, this one like Captain America where he's just talking with Stanley Tucci's character.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 or 3 moments between those two that I just think are really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could have put any of those in, to be honest. There's just bits where he's like, so you want to kill Nazis? And he's like, I don't want to kill anyone.
Oh, that's
I just don't like bullies. And it's like, it's really great.
That's the moment I like. I want my world.
Number 1.
Yours are all Mickey Rourke.
My top 5 Mickey Rourke moments in Iron Man 2. To be fair, like another little like mention like I would go for would be like the scene with where Happy and Black Widow like get to the thingy and she's just like taking everyone out and he's just trading punches with that dude and he's like, I got him, and then everyone's just like on the floor like out and cold.
I'd have a lot of happy moments in mine actually.
Yeah.
I could have the one from Far From Home actually.
Yeah.
With
the cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers.
Is that taking a spot now?
Oh my god.
That little moment.
No, it's too little. But I think
that's what I mean. Like moments like that, like, it's too little to put in my life.
But cheeseburgers was one of my favourite parts of Endgame, I think.
Yeah, it was really good. Right, I'll try and think of something else. But my next one is the Vulture realization. Who
I very nearly had this.
Parker is.
Very nearly had this.
I just think it's so well done, and like from that whole bit where he meets him at the door. Mm-hmm. In the car and everything, and there's the great moment where the lights change when the traffic lights change.
The red light,
he figures out what's going on. It's a nice little detail to like.
I never noticed that actually.
It's literally like a light bulb moment, but not being
because he's like looking through the back like mirror.
Yeah, he's like looking through the mirror, and then the light changes just as he kind of figures
good.
out what's going on, and it's just. I think that whole scene with Matt Keaton and just. Tom Holland is
just so scary in that scene as well.
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. And then, but it's not a thing where he's just like, I'm going to drive you somewhere and kill you. He's like, I'm going to give you this one because you saved my daughter and like family's important to me. So, you've got this one. Like, and even at the moment where he's like, go out there and show my daughter a good time.
That's a bit weird,
but not too good a time.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
No, he's like, he's like going dance with him, shag her, something. Basically.
Don't want little spider babies going around my house, you little shit.
But I think it's one of the best like villain scenes.
I think it is.
Because again, I think what we're going, I'm sure we'll get some bigger moments in a couple of minutes. But what we've all been kind of going for are these kind of smaller moments that are kind of personal,
really good character beats.
Yeah, like character beats and stuff like that, and that. You get all these moments, these big villains like explaining the grand plans and all this and that. But that scene in that car just dead. That's the cat.
Sorry, that was me.
There's just tiny little moments in that car. It's so small, so contained, but kind of really brilliant at the same time.
The one thing that I think takes a little bit of the edge off that for me is when he accidentally kills the guy earlier in the film.
Yeah.
And it's like, you kind of, from that scene, you get the feeling that he doesn't want to kill people. All he's doing is stealing shit. Yeah. He's not really trying to...
Yeah, he's not a murderer.
Yeah, but then like earlier in the film, it's like, well, he did... I suppose he make a joke of it's like accident. But he doesn't really seem to care, where I feel like if they take that out, there's a lot more weight.
I do think that's a funny joke.
It is funny,
it is a funny joke,
but someone else should have done it. Like the other guy should have done it. It'd be like...
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the other shocker might have...
Yeah, it doesn't suit that scene or the character or like his motivations, but I appreciate it's funny. So, but that's Andy Vulture realizing that Peter Parker is Spider-Man scene. I wonder if that will come back around at some point as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
What, the Vulture in general?
Yeah, just because obviously there's the thingy post-credit scene, isn't there, where he's like
the Scorpion and stuff.
Scorpion like if when he's like, if I knew who he was,
especially now after,
which I think is a cool thing. It's kind of like, is he protecting him or is he like, I want it for myself?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's an interesting.
Ambiguous. We still get more if Michael Keaton wants to come back.
Yeah, and considering what they did at the end of Far From Home, who knows what any of them will do? I mean, maybe that's when
imagine if Vulture comes and protects him,
that'd be pretty cool.
And then kills him. She's like, haha, I want you for myself.
So my next moment is from Avengers Endgame. And it is the assemble moment.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. That's on my list as well.
Yeah. It's hard not to have this on.
Honestly, that when I rewatched that again
I get
in
chills.
cinema, I'm like
literal chills.
I keep seeing like people posting it.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm not watching it because I don't want to like. I feel like every time I watch it's going to get a little less special. Yeah. So like I kind of want to cling on to like that moment because like nothing in films ever made me feel like that moment did because it's just like. it's so sad, but like because it's been that long building up to that moment, and just it's kind of idea that again it's unprecedented. No one's ever done anything like it, and people go, "Oh, that like moment in that film always gets me." I'm like, yeah, but imagine like that, but times by like 20 over like 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's
also
like,
I think it has that added kind of like not emphasis. What's the word? Added kind of like emotion, because like the bit just before is Cap on his own. Like the bit we were saying before is just him fighting Thanos, and he's like he's beaten, and he's not going to give up, but he is beaten. And then like just to see him when he's just like that sort of relief on his face, just being like, okay, let's fucking do it now.
It's like Avengers. It's like the excitement as well. Of
Did you hear what the Russo said about this? They were like, when we filmed that, it didn't really have any impact until they put the score over it, and then they were like, "Nah, this is sick."
Yeah, they're like,
the first time they did it, apparently, they were just like, "Oh, it's a bit underwhelming."
Really work.
Yeah,
I guess without music and without the build of the past.
And
2 hours
build up,
and something.
the build up to the music as well. It goes on for so long. It's like you can feel it coming. It's just and then they do a little bit where he teases it, and I think he drops it down a bit.
And then he's like, oh, it's just that's incredible. Like the way that starts as well is so like understated. Just Sam being on your left.
It's like,
which I love that. Like
what I don't like about that is Black Panther walks through first though. I think it should be Falcon who comes through first.
Does he not fly through though first?
I think Black Panther comes out and then Falcon.
Oh, he flies out behind, right?
I don't know. Yeah,
don't know. About that,
actually. Fuck you, Kevin Feige. Little moments.
I think I know some people had a problem with that on your left thing. I was like, I love it. Like
because again, like this,
it's an in joke between like friends.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's
like,
a thing he'd say because literally in.
I was going to say, "Oh, Cap, I'm back. Where you at? Hit me up."
It's a great. That's what you'd say though.
Yeah,
it's
like
you'd be like
the little joke at the end of Winter Soldier where he's during the hospital bed, sat there, and he's like, "On your left." Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like
it's their thing.
It's a little thing that they do. And
but
people
it's
like, I don't know if you'd remember that, and it's like,
when you've been beaten to death, the first thing you say to your now best mate.
It's like
of course
a
you're
bit
gonna
of a
remember
joke.
that. The first thing you say when you meet your new best friend is on your left as well. Like,
and to be fair, Falcon's not gone 5 years now down the line, so he's older. Like Falcon's literally just come back after.
Yeah, he's like, do you know what would be funny? Good banter. When you planned it, he was like, oh, what shall I say?
Is that the bit in Winter Soldier like, did you write that down? Or is it definitely wrote that down, didn't he?
He was like, I will sit on your left. It's going to be really funny.
I very nearly had
a very good Anthony Mackie impression.
I like Anthony Mackie.
I'm
not sure I really liked him much at first, but he's really grown on me. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's done
class. I very nearly had Avengers 1 Assemble as well.
Oh yeah, where he comes out and goes Avengers.
No.
Do you mean the actual where they're together?
Where they're all to get that first shot.
That is
that is a very good shot.
Well, it's pretty CGI now. Like it looks great.
Well,
and Cap's costume in the Avengers 1 is woeful, isn't it?
It's crap. Yeah.
Again, I was watching Winter Soldier, and his outfit that he gets from the museum, I still think is the best Captain America outfit.
It is.
Ticking moments.
I was going to say, have you thought of your next one or?
No, because Rob's stealing all mine. So, you got any more, Rob?
I've got my last. I've got my last one. I've got 3 honourable mentions because I couldn't nail them down. I had Tony Stark's death scene. It's the bit where he just goes, "I am Iron Man," and clicks his face. I just think that's so good. It's just perfect for that character.
Yeah. Well, did they reshot that? Didn't they?
Yeah, I think was it an extra? Someone, or was it sound? It was someone like a sound guy or someone came up with the line, because apparently he tried loads of lines and they weren't getting what he wanted. And someone
were they going to like drop an F-bomb there? I'm sure.
Yeah, someone said he was going to like,
there is a take
fuck you, and then just
that would have been pretty funny to be fair.
It is something. It was something like
there was something
like
that. Yeah, but
it was something dead like crude as well. It was like
it would have been on brand.
That would have been well funny.
It would have been.
To that,
I want to see that cut.
I think what really happened is that someone from the future came back, posed as a sound person, and was like, "How about Iron Man?" Who said that? He's just gone. He's disappeared into the wind.
It was Cap.
This is where he comes into our universe, and
I think that whole moment. That's like that's kind of his line. The thing he says, the last thing he says in Iron Man.
He says it at the end.
He says it in Iron Man 3 as well. Does he say it 2 as well?
I think so. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
And he says at the end of 3 when he gets rid of all his suit. And the thing I said before with Spider-Man, like, it's not the suit, it's like who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And what that kind of represents.
Being the guy to lay down on the wire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the fact that this film just everything comes back round, everything's perfectly tied in.
Yeah,
like even like cheeseburgers is just like,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you don't have to put that in there, but the fact that they have, and the fact that it works, and the fact it doesn't feel crowbarred in, is just so impressive.
Yeah, I feel like it's the idea that it is a culmination of like Cap's trilogy and Iron Man's trilogy, but there's also this thing on a huge scale, but it's also their stories and kind of wraps them up. I just think that's a really impressive.
I think it's
like feat to do, to kind of go, this is a personal story that, like, about these two guys, but also there's all this other stuff going on as well, and it's just incredible that they've balanced it in that kind of way. But it's just the perfect 10 for like Iron Man.
Imagine 100%. Trying to pitch this like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Imagine being like, yeah, lads, you know what? I got an idea. Okay. Every Marvel superhero you can think of,
just gonna chuck them in.
Just have them. Just have them. I mean, it's not even all of them, to be fair. Millions.
Yeah.
Well,
but
millions, but
it's mad. It's mad like how well it all worked out. And
welcome back to the Avengers Endgame podcast.
I do wonder, like, at what point they kind of went, this is where Iron Man's going to go now. Do you know what I mean? Like, probably after Iron Man 2, I reckon. Probably they were like, all right, we're building up to this and that now. Like, let's
that's the thing. I just honestly can't even comprehend the scale that. Like, at what point did they have the conversation? Like, right, we're gonna have Thanos. We're gonna have this. This is gonna happen. Like, I guess at some point, obviously, they've had to go in a bit blind at some bits, and then it just kind of worked. But
I reckon, like, when they introduced Thanos, that's like, he is going to be the big bad with the Infinity Stones, but we don't know how we're going to get
there, or who's going to do what, or how they're going to win, or all that jazz. But anyway, good choice.
Yes. I'm still trying to think of some others because you stole mine.
It's alright. If he's got his honorable mentions, just throw them out.
I'm trying to think of a really good, like, Quill and Gamora moment, because I generally really like their dynamic. I think actually it's fair when that's in Infinity War where
where he has to
like he's
pull the trigger.
Yeah, when Gamora's like, you know, kill me sort of thing. I really like that moment. That's a really nice.
Yeah, that's good.
And like,
I never really bought their relationship particularly. Not a boy. I never really cared that much about those characters.
I think I do.
I kind of feel like the characters are kind of, especially in Infinity War and Endgame, they kind of use very much as like jokey characters rather than.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So in those films, I kind of feel like, they're just kind of here for a laugh, really. And
well, Gamora's not. Like,
Gamora's
she's quite like.
But like, I care significantly
actually,
less about
that
them
moment actually when he throws Gamora off.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanos. That's a really good moment. Like, the way she's just like, "Oh, you're crying because you not got what you want." And he's like, "No, I'm crying because I have to like kill you," sort of thing. It's really cool.
But like, I do care a lot less about them than I do about like the original Avengers.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
So that's why Guardians hasn't really made a lot of mine. Like, I really like Guardians 1 when I watch it, but it's never my go-to now to watch.
No, see, it is for me for like a good, like, fun thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah.
See, I'd always go for Ragnarok now if I was looking for something. What, Yeah, I watched this morning. I got up at 8 o'clock to watch Ragnarok.
Yeah, I think like Ragnarok's funnier, but I don't know. I think Guardians is like a better film as a whole. Like,
how dare you?
I feel like, Ragnarok does have moments where I'm like, that's not great. Like the Odin stuff and.
Yeah, some of that's a bit bad.
Like, some of that's a bit poor. Whereas, you know, like, Guardians is pretty solid across the board, really. Like, people say about Ronan. I quite like Ronan. I quite like him. Like, he's this just mad, you know, evangelist kind of mental person. You know what I mean? Like, they don't pretend he's not, but I think that's it sometimes when they try and layer a character. Like, Hela, like, was kind of, we've got all these motives, but it's like, why? Why, though? Whereas, like, with Ronan, he did it all, but it was because... You know, he's basically a big racist. Mad racist.
Pretty much.
So you're like, yeah, fine, cool. I know some of them.
One moment in Thor Ragnarok that I did have on my extra list was the bit in the lift where they go into the lift. And Loki's like, that's good. I can't remember what he says to Thor. No, before they get help. And the bit where Thor says, he says, is that how little you think of me? And he's like, I thought the world of you. I thought we'd like... go around fighting crime or whatever. But that's basically what he said. I thought that's what we'd be. We'd go around saving the galaxy together or whatever.
That is like dead sad because you're like, that would be really nice as well.
It is really, it's like a really nice little moment, and he just betrays him anyway. And I suppose it comes back in the end. But
That's just dead sad. I
was
think
a nice
actually
little
in Ragnarok, actually, that might be one of mine. The Thor with all of his powers, just lightning flying everywhere, just like
it's
a cool
with the immigrant song.
Yeah, with the immigrant song kicks in, and that's like a pretty mint moment.
That's all my moments.
That's all your moments. I'm trying to think.
Good
I
mentions.
think
We've done a lot of moments.
We've done a lot of
We don't
moments.
need to crowbar them.
I mean,
if you can't think of anything.
we can jump on
It's 2
the
minutes.
surprising moments
yeah,
if you
let's jump
want.
on the surprising
Like,
moments.
Boo!
To be fair, we may have touched on a few.
Yeah.
Started, like, oh my god, it's really
I mean,
There's
I
room
can
a
get
whole
rid of
list.
that one and that one. I'm going to go in reverse order. So I'm going to end with number 1, which
least
I thought was
surprising to most surprising.
Well, there's still these are it's the least of the most surprising moments, basically. So all of these moments are surprising. It's just this is the one that I felt it just didn't have too much of an impact anyway. But well, my first one, it was basically the entire Ant-Man film. I was surprised
The
at
whole
how
film.
I was just genuinely surprised at how much I actually kind of enjoyed the film.
I really like Ant-Man.
I love Ant-Man.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the,
people don't
that's the thing.
look at it and I'm like, why don't
Watching
people
it, I
like
was
this?
like, I actually really like
So much fun.
Yeah, it's fun. The kind of structure of it, how it's sort of set out, the plot of it. Really, I mean, no, I really enjoyed the film itself. Like coming away, I was like, that's one I feel like I can just kind of watch.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind
I
of
always forget,
as on.
and then I'm like, nah, Ant-Man's
Ant-Man's
great. I was
good.
like, think that I'm never going to put Ant-Man on, but I'm like, no,
Yeah, I don't
Ant-Man's
know
really
Ant-Man.
good.
I think like Yellow Jacket's not
Yeah,
great.
he's not
but
the
like
greatest, but-
he's not terrible.
Darren.
Yeah.
Bad guy named Darren.
Yeah.
As a bold move in itself.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was to pick a specific moment, maybe just the fact that they actually got Falcon in for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
kinda like
yeah.
that. I was
yeah,
like,
that was
oh,
cool.
damn,
I always forget.
that
I always
didn't
forget
actually,
that happens.
all that whole bit, and then yeah, I mean the Luis moments, they're all
Yeah.
great.
Luis is
and-
great.
It's people say like, oh, like I like Ant-Man 1, but like don't dig Ant-Man 2. And
I
I'm
really
like,
like
it's
Ant-Man.
more
Ant-Man
better.
2 is
It's
great.
better.
Yeah.
The
It's
best bit of
better.
Ant-Man 2 is when Louise goes, who are you and how do you know so much about car wash protocol?
Yeah.
It's just great jokes.
It's a really good
There's
line.
so many random that and the close-up magic jokes in Ant-Man 2 are just
yeah.
incredible because it's
I
just
love
again
it.
it's those weird little moments you go like you don't need to put that in there. But
And
that's just
what's
like
his name? Asian Jim.
Oh yeah.
Something Park. What's his first name?
I don't know, Asian.
No, he's
in the
playing in the
office.
office. Yeah. He
Oh,
does,
right,
There's,
right,
there's a bit in The Office where
Yeah.
Jim tries to prank Dwight by
Yeah,
just sending an Asian guy into. And then,
Yeah.
this is really funny. But
Um,
he's done quite a lot now.
Who is he in Ant-Man?
He's the head
Yeah.
FBI. Oh, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh right,
Head
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
even
yeah,
the
yeah.
bit at the end where it's like, "I'll see you again." He was like,
like,
"What?
where-
What do you mean? Like, you have to
where-
have a
what-
dinner?"
what-
He's
what-
like,
Do you want to go dinner? I mean, I'm
That'd be
free.
good.
He's really good. He's in a good film on Netflix at the moment.
It's a,
Always Be
yeah,
My
he's,
Maybe.
yeah, he's in with because that's what Keanu, your favorite guy. Keanu's in that
That
at some
genuinely
point.
ruined
like,
the film for me. That genuinely ruined the film.
I haven't watched it, but I'll have to give it a try. Maybe.
It's a good.
Yeah.
No, it's a good film. I
I
would
did-
watch it.
I do love another moment. I'm just thinking about like that, where it's like little things where you don't need to include that. I've
Yeah.
just thrown in is Ant-Man 3 when he gets into the do you know that truck and there's the Tony Stark super fan.
I love that movie.
He's got Gary or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that, and
it's got,
he's
like,
yeah.
when
He's
he's
like he could just been like you don't even need that. Like Tony Stark could have done all the scene himself, but
Yeah, it's
like
great.
Shane Black's just chucked in this like
And it's like the bit where he's
dude,
like,
he's
even the
that
bit where he's
dead
like,
creepy.
oh, I've modeled my whole look on you.
yeah.
I can't tell because my hair's all messed up.
Yeah.
It's like the detail of.
So
how
that
specific
transitions very well because I saw a parody article which was saying how he was the real Mandarin. It was going to be Cable Guy or whatever, but that's actually what my number 4 one was. The whole flip of the Mandarin not being.
Very very shocking.
Yeah, well, it's just I was like, wait, they've done what?
I can remember watching that.
I was
Being
like,
like,
maybe too shocking if any
But,
some might
ag-
say.
I'm watching me-
again. These aren't my favorite
Yeah,
moments.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
the ones that cause me to have the most like what.
Well, I think
kind of moment.
like I think David spoke about it. Well, we know he's spoken about it, but I think he specifically kind of said on the podcast about how he kind of watching the rest of the film was kind of almost ruined because I mean he doesn't like that film anyway, but it was really ruined for him because he was like that can't be it.
Yeah.
And like the whole
Yeah,
time he was like
yeah.
second guessing everything. It kind of like broke him
I thought
mentally.
I thought
I
at the
did the
end
same
maybe
thing.
they'd do like maybe the post credits going to be how he was the real and it was a fake out kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even then I'd be like I don't know. Kind of.
I mean, obviously we are
detracts from it, like-
getting the real Mandarin.
Yeah,
now,
seems to.
and
And Shang-Chi.
10 yeah, and the 10 rings.
I really like the twist. I'm not 100% on the
the execution's shocking.
Yeah,
I would-
yeah.
say, and not in a surprised, shocking sort of way. I think the execution is terrible. Because I do like the twist. The idea that he's an actor, I think, is really.
I think it's really, and it does avoid like stereotypes and
and
stuff like that.
Subverts it, and but you just don't need Guy Pearce going, "I'm the Mandarin."
That's the bit I read. I don't mind Trevor Slattery stuff. I actually hate that I'm the Mandarin bit. I'm like, but I mean, you're not the one. Like, I mean, I understand. Everyone who's watching something understands that you've paid him to do this.
And you're behind the one behind everything. Yeah,
it's a really lazy line.
Yeah, it is. I'm actually flipping these next ones. So the new number 3 now. I put down as the Bucky reveal that it was the Winter Soldier. I didn't have any idea before going into that film. I think Guffers. I remember Guffers saying like, "Oh, I know," like, because he obviously knew who it was.
Really?
I'm sure I was like, you know what? Don't tell me, because I want to see the film. And actually,
well, that's interesting.
Because I didn't try and look into it. I was like, and at the time, what was it? 2014 came out.
Around there.
I was working at cinema then, so that it was 2014.
Whatever it was. I don't think I was into kind of looking into what these characters were or what had happened and things like that. And I just kind of went in with like, and I didn't look at the casting or anything, because obviously if I'd literally looked on IMDb,
you would have found out straight away.
Sebastian Stan, there we go. And stayed away from like interviews and stuff like that. I don't. Did he do much interview wise? Because I feel like that would have been a bit like,
I mean, to be honest,
I'm Winter Soldier, because I feel like that's the thing that it wasn't that hard staying away from that reveal I found anyway. And then when it happened in the film, I was like, shit. All right, okay.
To be honest, I didn't even realise it was a secret.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Well, I knew who it was.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'd probably only been into comics for maybe since like Avengers 1, I guess. So maybe like 2 years before that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise you guys didn't know. No, I didn't realise people didn't know.
Well, I don't know if I did.
That's really interesting.
My biggest regret in life is that I didn't.
We're getting deeper.
I didn't see this in cinema. I didn't see this
really
for ages afterwards. You know this because you ruined the Nick Fury bit for me.
Did I?
What, the
fact because you thought I'd seen it, and you were like, I
have no recollection of this.
So because it is totally on me. It's 100% on me. But I because I didn't really dig Iron Man 1 that much. I wasn't in a rush to see... Not Iron Man 1.
You love Iron Man 1. I love about how you love Iron Man 1.
Captain America 1, sorry.
I really like that film.
So I wasn't in a rush to... I was going to watch it, but I wasn't in a rush to see it. And then, I don't know, one thing or another, just missed it at the cinema. I was like, I've got to wait for it on DVD now.
I can remember when I watched it at the cinema.
Me too.
And I'm just like... So I don't remember... I don't remember watching it for the first time. I'm like... I don't remember how I felt about the Hydra thing, how I felt about the Bucky. I think with the Bucky thing, that because I'd only watched Captain America 1 once, ages before. Yeah. The Bucky moment didn't really hit me because I couldn't really remember who he was.
It was easy to do.
Do you know what I mean? Because he isn't that prominent in 1. He's kind of there.
I think he's more in it than you think. Actually.
Yeah.
I've watched it again recently. But I think because he's actually quite.
I think because he falls off the train pretty early on. You kind of almost forget about him being in it quite a bit, especially the whole last act. He's not in
basically blank out that montage scene where it does show them working together quite a lot. So I feel like that would have.
I just didn't like. I was kind of like, I think that's him from the first one, but you know what I mean. So it did have a little full on moment for me, but I'm really upset that I never saw that in the cinema, and I'm gonna carry that with me for the rest of my life.
I remember watching it in. View Extreme screen, and there was about 3 people in the screen. It was just a morning. I was just like, I'm going to watch, because I remember watching the trailers and thinking this looks really good.
Yeah,
some cinema at some point is going to have to re-show them all.
They will, because they'll just make I'd go and watch all 23 of those films again.
Well, that's it. I'm waiting for the box set to come out, but they're not said when it's going to come out yet, and it's going to be so much money.
Infinity Saga.
Yeah, it's going to be so much money, but I don't care. It's
going to be a big old box set.
I want it.
Well, I'm glad I swapped that then, because number 2 we did actually already touch on, and it was Michael Keaton being revealed as his dad. That actual moment where he just opens the door. I remember going I was genuinely had no. I didn't even think that. Sometimes when you watch it, you'd be like, oh, maybe he's gonna go. Literally had no speculation, and then he opened that door and I went, oh fuck!
It's one of those, but it makes sense as well. Though you don't go, oh, that's shoehorned in, or that's like
it's not an M. Night Shyamalan just do a twist for the sake of it.
Yeah,
Fooled you all.
It was him all along.
It's like because you've lied to us the entire film, M. Night.
Yeah, but
then you
like,
just changed it. At the end. That's not a twist.
It's like when you just see like little bits, like Liz saying this and him saying that. You're like, oh, it does like line up, but it's just dead.
It does line up,
really
and
clever,
and it's really clever because then it just has a massive impact on the rest of the film as well.
But it's just it's so great.
Clever.
It's really great.
It was.
But like, I think that's the first time in a while I've been in the cinema and been like genuinely shocked by like a moment,
popcorn,
being like, oh god, like because I don't think films do it that much anymore.
No.
Pretty linear, but I saw a post on Facebook. I can't remember what group it was on. But in the comments they were talking about like villains and knowing if villains, because I think someone's talking about Far From Home and saying, oh, I saw it with my friend who's not in comic
so
up on comic
Mysterio
law.
was going to be like, a good person.
I was sat there at the Mysterio reveal, like looking at them like when it all happened. So the people were talking in the comments about reveals, and one guy was like, I've never been tricked by a film to do with I've always guessed the villain before it's revealed. And I'm like, shut up, you're funny. People think they're terrible.
Well, that's the thing. Like, obviously, I mean,
look how smart I am.
At the end of the day, these are all based on comics that were written maybe like 50, 60 years ago for some of these characters. It's like, mate, you can just Google it if you actually want to know who these like people are going to be. Like, but I mean, this one may be slightly controversial because I know Guffers 100% was not surprised by this in the slightest. But my number one, and it might have been because it was the most recent one that I watched, but the whole fact that they got J.K. Simmons back for J.J. Jameson. I had no idea that was coming out. I just stared at, for a good minute. I was just staring at the screen like.
I was just smiling. Look, I was like, oh my god, because like it was like turned to me, and I was just like a little kid, just like, and she was like,
that's the thing. Considering like when was the original Raimi thing?
2000s,
early 2000s, wasn't it?
It was a good long while ago, back when we were kids, basically. So it did have that kind of reaction of, oh no way! Like, that's
when they heard, did they say like Daily Bugle or something?
And
I was like, oh, I wonder who
it seems like
that's what got in. This is weird. And then because they tease it as well, like they sort of say it, and then there's like a delay. I'm like, okay, they're doing something big here because they wouldn't have put this pause in if it wasn't someone big. I'm like. And then he shows up.
Yeah.
Do you see him or hear him first as well? I can't remember if you.
I think you
maybe hear him,
and
then you just like you could. Yeah,
it's so good. In, and it was just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
because
it's totally mad. Like it's but I still can't believe they invited him to the premiere of the film. That seems mad to me.
Again, I get why Guff was like, he was like, oh, it ruined the surprise from kind of thing.
Yeah, because you would just go, oh, he's going to be in it then.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, that's
and then maybe you don't know where, and maybe you get through the film and go, oh, maybe he was just there then. And then obviously as soon as the Daily Bugle pops up, you go, oh, it's going to be JK in it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I thought maybe they'd invited him to the other Spider-Man. It turns out they hadn't. Like I could have got it in that respect if it was like, oh he was there at the Amazing Spider-Man 2, just because, he was big in Spider-Man name and all that stuff. So it wouldn't have been as obvious. So I get that it could have been taken away. Just for me personally, I had no idea in any way. And then he showed up and I was like, fair play. Again, don't know what's going to happen in the future, but if anything, that may segue us into our next segment of the future.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention the hammer actually, but I suppose it was that surprising? I don't know. I was like,
I did think about it. The thing is, I thought there were quite a lot of endgame bits that I was thinking about where I was like,
we didn't.
I suppose it was almost expected that he would get the hammer. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if I did expect it to happen or not, and then
that's the thing. I don't know if it was.
I don't know if it's excitement or surprise. When
I don't know if it was that I expected it to happen. I think it was just when he did it. Yeah. I was just like, well, yeah. I mean, Cap is worthy. It's like it feels like it's the right.
What I don't get though, watching Thor Ragnarok today, Odin clearly states that Thor's power is not from the hammer, right? So the lightning comes from him.
Yeah, well, that's the point, isn't it? That like,
so he funnels it through the hammer. So why is Cap using lightning with the hammer?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because then when like Odin like says the thing in Mjolnir and like the first Thor, he says anyone who wields his hammer to wield the power of Thor. So I guess it does that. But then I'm also thinking like, right, you can hold the hammer now. He was already like super strong, but now is he as strong as Thor? Because can he go toe to toe with the Hulk?
I do feel like it has sort of literally stolen his thunder.
Yeah, pretty much. But
no, I think that's it because I like I like that Thor's not bitter about it though.
Yeah.
Like, in that
No.
moment where he's like,
Yeah.
I knew it.
Or the bit where
Like,
he's like,
it's incredible.
no, you have the little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a great
so funny. It's amazing.
We should move on.
Yeah, we probably should move on.
an
So
hour.
we're going to move on to, now that we've looked back at our favourite moments, we're going to move on to what we're going to expect and want from the future, or what we don't want from the future.